today I want to share something with you, and the title is If Only You Knew. We are going to get a reading from John chapter 4. When I was reading this, I realized that maybe Jesus would have passed anywhere else, but the Bible said he had to go through Samaria. He went through Samaria because he had a reason to go there. Yayina ensonga egenda okumuyisa Samaria. Yali agenda Judea naye n'agamba kampitire Samaria. Jesus said, I had to go through Samaria. And you know why he went through Samaria? Because he had to meet someone. Jesus wanted to meet someone, someone to encounter him. And this privileged person was a Samaritan woman. If we read the story, there was a well called Jacob's well in Samaria, in a village in Samaria. When we read verse 4, he had to go through Samaria on the way. Eventually, he came to a Samaritan village of Sychar, near the field that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus said from the long walk, sat wearily beside the well about noontime. Soon a Samaritan woman came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, please give me a drink. He was alone at that time because his disciples had gone into the village to buy some food. Then God brings this Samaritan woman. If I was researching about this, in Samaria, I think the place is very hot. So most people draw their water in the mornings or in the late evenings. But this woman was coming to draw water at noontime. You may wonder, why would she pick water when the sun is shining the most? Most people fear to go to the well at noontime, even in the villages. They say that is when the ghosts are roaming around. They say that is when the snakes are going about. But this woman came at noontime. And she came at that time because God had prepared for her to meet Jesus. She didn't just come at that time because of any other reason. She had her other reasons, but even Jesus passed there at that time so that he would meet her. Maybe Jesus would have gone to any other place, but he passed at this well so that he may meet this woman. Abantu bayinza okuba nga bagamba mbu ku ssaawa mwenda ez'ekiro w'oba ozuukuka osabe Mukama wagenda okusisinkanira. Many people like praying at 3 a.m. in the night because we say that is the best time to pray. But in this instance, at the time that no one expects anyone to be at the well, that is the time this woman is at the well, and that is the time Jesus is also going to that well. Oyinza okuba nga baakugamba mbu okusaba n'owulirizibwa waliwo essaawa z'oba osaba oba waliwo ekiseera ky'oba osaba, naye Yesu wabanga asazeewo okusisinkana yajja kujja ku kiseera ekyo gwe naawe ky'ojjiddemu. Bwe kiba kitegeeza kujja mu musana ku ssaawa 6 ogw'emisana ajja kujja kubanga akimanyi gwe zeeze essaawa z'obeerawo. Maybe God knows that your time that is easy for you to pray is maybe at 4 p.m. Maybe people are saying that 3 a.m. is the best time to pray. But because God wants to meet you, he will come at 4 p.m. because of you. And that is what happened to this Samaritan woman. And she met Jesus. And Jesus asked her for a drink. He asked her for some water. And then this Samaritan woman, verse 9 says this, the woman was surprised, for Jews refused to have anything to do with Samaritans. She said to Jesus, you are a Jew and I am a Samaritan woman. Why are you asking me for a drink? Many times we don't feel worthy. Someone tells you about Jesus and then you're like, according to the things I've done, according to how I live my life, I can't meet this person. So this is what this Samaritan woman was feeling. Because Jews were known to be the children of God, but then the other tribes were not. This woman is telling the man, "You're a Jew, what are you doing? How can you even talk to a Samaritan woman? How can you talk to me that is unclean?" But Jesus has come to talk to you. Whether you're clean, whether you're not, whether you've oba oyatudde obulokozi oba tonnaba, Yesu azze kusisinkana. Oba abantu bagamba mbu oyo mwenzi, oba abantu bagamba oyo ewaabwe basezi, ye tafuddeeyo, anoonya ggwe. He has come to meet you in whichever situation you're in. Tafuddeeyo oba ofaanana otya? Tafuddeeyo oba oyambala otya? Tafuddeeyo oba oyina ki? Wadde abalala bakuyita wa munnamawanga, ye azze kusisinkana. Naye Samuel yaffe gye natandikira wano Yesu we yaddiramu omukyala ng'amaze omugamba, munnange gwe oli mu Yudaaya naye nze ndi mu Samariya. We don't even talk, we don't even communicate. What are you doing with me? And Jesus replied, "If only you knew." Namugamba, singa obadde omanyi. If only you knew. Bantu bangi tuli mu kanisa naye tetumanyi. Oyinza n'okuba nga walokoka emyaka mingi emabega naye nga tonnamanya. Oyinza okuba nga olina mwana wa musumba, oyinza n'okuba nga oli mukyala wa musumba, oyinza n'okuba nga oli muweereza mu kanisa naye nga tonnamanya. Naye Yesu olwaliro agamba, if only you knew. Singa obadde omanyi. Omukyala ono yali tamanyi. Naye Yesu n'amugamba, if only you knew the gift God has for you and who you were speaking to, you would ask me and I would give you living water. Njagala leero tumanye. I want us to know who has called us. I want us to know who we are serving. I want us to know God. Omanyi oyo ani yakuyita, olekerawo okuwuliriza bino ebigambo by'abantu abakwetoolodde ab'ensi kubanga bo tebamanyi. Naye gwe weetaaga n'omanya. You need to know. Kubanga singa n'omukyala yali amanyi, Yesu yamugamba, "Wandiisabye nze n'ekuwa amazzi amalamu, living water. Ate gano w'oganywako toddamu kuyonta. You will never be thirsty." Jesus is calling you that you may ask him. He's not calling you that you may know him and you will give him anything. He's calling you that you may know him and you may ask. When we read Luke chapter 7, verse 1 to 9, there is also a story of a man. Now this is a man that knew. Ono omusajja teyali na mu Yudaaya. He wasn't even a follower of Christ. But he knew. Yewe yalaba Kristu yamanya. He knew. This story talks about a Roman officer that had a slave that was sick. His slave was very sick and was about to die. But he knew who Jesus was. And when we read there, you read when you go home, but I'll give you a few details about what happened there. So some of these Jewish people come and told Jesus, "This man has been very good to us. You help him. Ono omusajja abadde mulungi, muyambe owonye omuddu we. Omuddu wo namwagala nnyo, tomukiriza kufa." Luke 7 verse 7, he said, "I'm not even worthy to come and meet you. Just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed." Verse 8, "I know this because I am under the authority of my superior officers, and I have authority over my soldiers. I only need to say, 'Go,' and they go. 'Come,' and they come. And if I say to my slaves, 'Do this,' they do it." This man knew. He knew that Jesus had authority. He told him, "Even me, I have people that are under my authority. And when I tell them come, they will come. When I tell them go, they will go, because they are under my authority." So even you, because you have authority, just say the word. Just send the angels. Just say a word and my servant will be healed. Singa nawe omanyani gw'ositudde, wandibadde teweeraliikirira. You shouldn't be worried about the things of the world because you know who you have. Because you know that if he says, no one can say no. He just has to say. And what can God do? The one that has authority over the whole earth. He has authority over the problems you're facing. He has authority over the demons that are keeping you awake at night. He has authority over the boss that is refusing to pay you. He has authority over everything. If only you knew who you are carrying. If only you knew. Because even Jesus was surprised by this man. He said that, I haven't seen faith like this in all of Israel. Someone that is not a Jew has faith more than the person that is a Jew. Omuntu atali mulokole akusinga atya okukkiriza. How can you allow that? Akusinga atya okumanya mbu Mukama asobola okumuwonya. It is time that you may also know. And on that note, I want to talk to the women in this group. If only you knew the power you had. If only you knew the power that God has put into your life. You have the power to create. You have the power to do mighty things. For me, when I got to know that, I realized I have to work on myself. If you have a chance to get an education, get an education. If you have the chance to work and be something. You are more than a pretty face. Abambaloza obera mulungi chiba chimala. Nete chimala. Ze sobola okugamba mbu okusinzira ku standards sinze mulungi ennyo. Era ngenda mu bifo and no one will give you any attention. You're not cute. You don't have that body that someone will put on TikTok as they are scrolling will come back and then I'm like, hey, really? You're not like that. But I understood that and I knew I had to work on myself. I go to places and they won't give me a front seat and it's okay. And then when you reach that time of introduction, then they're like, okay. And then they're like, my name is this, I'm this person's wife. And then she sits. And then I stand up and I'm like, my name is this. I'm a child of God. I'm a midwife. I have this and this and this. And that alone will make people recognize me. Olusobera mubingo ineyo joli. Nebagamba oyo no mchala gunegundi ngo mchala te alonda ngata musanira. And then someone will be like, oyo no gola ba musawo. And then people will come, musawo munange. Because you have something different on your life. As a woman, improve yourself. People are talking about Moses Bliss's wife. I don't know if people know Moses Bliss. And then we were like, he got a very average woman. Omukazi tekuba na makeup taso anagula wigi. Twali tukyali awo. And the woman is a lawyer. Nebagamba omukyala the wife is a lawyer. Then people are like, Bambi. Because she has something, some value she has added on her life. Bera koche weyongera kongo omukyala. Lekera okulinda sente z'omwami yigokola. Most of us want to be the Proverbs 31 woman. But that woman was a rich woman. If you read Proverbs 31, there is verse 16. The Bible said, she goes to inspect a field and buys it with her earnings, and she plants a vineyard. Bono omukyala agenda n'alaba ettaka. N'aligula ku ssente ze, si ku ssente za bbaawe. Naye n'aligula ku ssente zaani. Ezize n'asimbako ennimiro. Gw'olina mmeka? How much do you have? Or you're waiting on your husband? Omukyala abeerako kye weeyongerako. Proverbs 31 woman siiti lwakuba azuukuka ku makya n'afumbira bbaawe naye alina ne ku ssente. Make some money. Add some value on yourself. If you can get an education and be something. And the men in this place, add value to your woman. Abasajja bamuganda bakazi bamukola. Let your woman work. Add some value to her. And you will be proud of her. I pray that God helps you that you may know as a woman, that you may know your worth, that you may know that you have the power to create, that you have the power to change situations, that you have the power to grow destinies. Oyina amaanyi, ng'omukyala oyina amaanyi. Njagala leero okimanye, ye Saala yange mbu buli mukyala asobole okumanya ekyo Mukama kye yamuteekamu.